You need, feel the vibe of this reggae. You my love, my life. This intense beat, the soul takes you.
So we're going to start off a little sad today, just because we kind of wanted to just talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner, of course, passing away. So, did you know him at all? I saw like you posted some things on your page and stuff today. So
not personally, but just like you guys growing up watching them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely a curveball for sure. But yeah, definitely, man. We definitely got to carve out some time to talk about Mr. Malcolm.
Yeah.
I mean, at 54-year-old, man, like to me, that's still young. You still have a lot of life left in you.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Leaving behind, a family. My heart goes out to them. I mean, immensely. I can't imagine what they're going through right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's really a sad ordeal because like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, there was another famous guy who was on vacation with his family and he had passed away. His family women and he went and got on the treadmill and then ended up his shoelaces got stuck in the treadmill and he passed away and died on the treadmill. And I think his company was about to sell for $5 billion. And it was crazy just to think like, man, the safety, you just never know in life.
Yeah.
Go out there with your family and have a good time. And man, things took a turn.
Yeah.
Like for us, last weekend, we were watching Malcolm and Eddie on Tubi. And to find out this happened the other day, to me, that was shock.
Yeah. It was, we hadn't watched that show in like forever, anything with him in forever. And just, to have this happen today was wild.
Yeah. And I'm glad, right, you brought that up because I forgot about that show. That was with Eddie Griffin, right? Yeah.
That was a wholesome show, too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a really good show, right? Yeah, I remember that, man. I saw Eddie Griffin live not too long ago at the Bricktown Comedy Club, and then he just posted a really long post online, and I was like, man, Eddie Griffin was really close to him as well. So yeah.
They had a show for 4 seasons.
4 seasons, yeah.
Yep, absolutely, man. Malcolm did a lot, man. He definitely was a pioneer in the game, and definitely allowed as an African American to be able to see him as that example growing up with the stuff I was surrounded by. It was just a blessing to be able to look up and say, oh wow, I could be a doctor if I pursued it. I could be a lawyer. Like I could actually do that if I put my mind to it. So they that whole family, even though it's a show, it still was a real family to us.
Yeah.
Actually, that's funny that you just said that about the doctor and lawyer, because that was one of my favorite episodes with him when he was getting bad grades. He's like, I just want to be treated as a normal person.
Normal person.
It's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say.
You know Bill Cosby, man. He's off the chain. So,
it's funny.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, you just never know. But great body of work, and I think that's what life ends up. How life unfolds anyway. It's like you take every day one step at a time, but you're steady adding brick to the house or whatever your blueprint is. So every day it was the Bill Cosby show, another brick. The Malcolm Eddie show, another brick. And so finally, when the house is done, we can stand back and say, wow, job well done, Malcolm.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so let's get to you, though. So you are the funniest blind comedian in the world.
I'm trying to be, right there, Melissa. I'm trying to be.
But you were born blind. So tell us what happened.
Okay, so in 2016, that's when I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, guys. So basically what it is black spots, they sit on the back of your retina. The reason why you guys are able to see how you see is because there's nothing on your retina that's like blocking it. But with me, the black spots, they continue to spread the older I get. So right now I'm completely blind in my right eye, but I still have sight in the left, because first it attacks one side of the eye, then it goes for the other side of the eye. So I'm 42 now, and they're saying by 50 or 52, I'll be completely blind like Stevie Wonder.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, my mother completely blind, grandmother completely blind, three aunties, three uncles, everybody completely blind with the same eye disease. And it hits you at different ages. Sometimes it could be when you're born, sometimes high school. With me, I was in my early 30s. So it's like when it hits, it's very aggressive. So I was a case manager for about 5 years and helping people with developmental disabilities. And then I start noticing, man, it's hard for me to drive home. So I'm thinking like anybody else, oh, I'll just go to Lens Crafters, get some glasses, and they'll rectify the problem. Well, apparently with this particular eye disease, you guys, glasses will speed it up. So
Yeah.
I wear prescription glasses, I'll be completely blind by 45 instead of 52. So that's how crazy it is. It's almost like the glasses is the kryptonite. It will take more and more from you. So when I was diagnosed at Dean McGee Eye Institution in Oklahoma City in 2016, they said, okay, you're definitely gonna have to step down from your job, because I used to do house visits and I couldn't drive anymore. And then one time I almost hit a policeman, like trying to get people out the streets. And I saw, like, what happens is I'll see the mom standing in front of me, but I won't see the kids. So people look at me, I don't even look blind, but that's because I still have vision in my left eye. So I look totally normal until Rodney tells me, here, take my car keys. And then that's when you find out, oh, wait, this brother is legally blind. And so with that being said, I made a joke about it, I turned it into a career. In 2016, stepped down from the case management job, and then picked up the microphone and never looked back. And so I've been pursuing stand-up comedy ever since. And I also teach it, intro to comedy and masterclass to comedy, 8-week courses, 2 hours a piece. And I have books coming out with comedy in the next 3 weeks. So yeah, we're just doing everything for clean comedy.
Oh wow. 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 So the blindness is really what threw you into comedy then, just because you couldn't do.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was one of those epiphanies. I said, man, nobody's gonna hire me, a blind man, to drive for Uber. Nobody's gonna hire a blind man to work for American Airlines as a pilot, Rodney. You're not getting on the plane, and then Melissa's not getting in the Uber. So I said, what in the world can I do so I don't end up depressed or end up with this anxiety of like life is over because I can't see what I need to see? And that's when I just, like, I'm a man of faith. So I was just like, okay, God, like, this is what we gonna do. Walk by faith and not by sight. And that's when it all hit me. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make people laugh for the rest of my life. And man, that thing took off like crazy. And so yeah.
Good. So listen, in one of your previous interviews, you say you give the one chair to the one person. Did that really happen?
I did what?
You give the one chair to a person.
Oh yeah. What hey Rodney, that's why they kind of let me go, because I had 40 employees, and things start getting mixed up. We'll put it like that for those that are still thinking about rehiring me one day. Things got mixed up, and yeah, I in there, right? I was like, man, I don't think I can continue on, because man, 40 employees, and you're in charge of making sure everyone's getting paid correctly, because that's what the job consisted of. I had to do house visits, but then I also had to put everybody's time in every single Friday. So when I noticed my time, I used to be able to do that real fast, but then as I was attacked more and more, it got slower. And my bosses, they realized, they said, man, Leon, you used to be able to knock this out in like 45 minutes. Now it's taking 2 hours, 3 hours. And I'm rubbing my eyes thinking that it's just, oh, I just need some eye drops. Nah, man, I had a literal eye disease.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. And so, but I made the best of it, man, because with the comedy thing, it really took off. I paid a guy $150 at the comedy club, took the comedy class, hit the stage, did my quick 5 minutes, which, by the way, when you first start doing comedy, 5 minutes feels like eternity. now, you know, doing the hour-long sets is a breeze because it took that many years. It took me a decade to get everything built up, sharp, and ready for the people. But man, it's something else.
Yeah, but now you teach comedy too. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The teaching part is has been a lot of fun because you see other people being taught the gift that was granted to yourself and myself. And so that, I think that's where a lot of my joy comes from with the comedy, because I'm giving back in the community per se. Like, I'm actually saying I'm not keeping my gift just for me. I want to see other teenagers do it. You know, I've been hired, signed a partnership with the library. So I'm able to go there and teach middle school kids and high school kids how to be clean comedians. And then, going to nonprofits and doing corporate, and then just signed a deal with America's Got Talent to open for the season 12 winner, Darci Lynne.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
So you do clean comedy. So that was your choice to do that? I mean, that was intentional for you?
Oh yeah, extremely intentional. One thing about America is all about capitalism, so I capitalized on it. But yeah, the macro and the micro and the economics of like the comedy world is that start realizing that, okay, if 1 million comedians are doing blue material with no filter and only 10 are doing clean comedy, then you realize, oh, I'm not gonna, if the company's not gonna pay me $5,000 if they can get Kevin Hart or they can get somebody else, because the market is already like overcrowded with the blue material. Everybody want to sound like Richard Pryor or Kevin Hart. But then over here, the corporate world is saying we want clean because we have guests coming, we have people that, you know, we look up to, we want partnerships, we want this. So who can we pay $5,000 and up to per show to keep it clean? So then the other comics locally are looking around like, well, we're trying to be like Richard Pryor and Kevin Hart, so we're going to miss out on 5,000. And I'm like, well, I wrote everything clean. I grew up watching Bill Cosby, and he was funny doing clean, so book me. And then it just worked out that way, because nobody's going to pay you top dollar if you're not an anomaly.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it that way. That's a great way to great business mind here.
Yeah. So besides the corporate event, do you find it hard to sell tickets as a clean comic?
No. It's not hard. Like, the clean comedy world is almost like, I think in America right now, you guys, everybody's looking at the gate being fully open, and I blame social media for that. Before this, it was like we only 10 of the same celebrities. Like, remember at one time growing up, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, these were the same faces. Beyonce and Destiny Child, these were the same faces. Mariah Carey, same faces. But now that social media is open up, everybody has a voice. Everybody is the face. So you have to make sure that you separate yourself and be able to do it in a whole different lane, so then you can have business. Otherwise, we'll have to file bankruptcy, because everybody and their mama would be doing the same type of material and everything. But one thing about me, I treat comedy like Floyd Mayweather, like boxing. Like, jabs is my one-liners, my body shots are my bits, my uppercuts are my combinations with jokes. You know, we have different joke structures. You have like setup, premise, punch, setup, punch, premise, punchline, act out, add more tags. Like, these are all structures that the average comedian skips over. So that would be like LeBron James not knowing the fundamentals of basketball. It's like, how would he succeed at a high level? You can be born with innate talent, but then you also need the training. That's why Mr. Miyagi and Danielson got along after the examples, because you can't skip wax on and wax off and think you will succeed.
Yeah.
So he is Mr. Fundamental. He's Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I truly do believe, you guys, the more the more we practice. That's one thing I stress the most to my comics in class. I say, you have to practice. Like, Kobe Bryant videos inspire me at a high level, because he's always talking about how, you know, back in the day, man, if you didn't get in the gym at 5 a.m, then you couldn't play on the Lakers. Like, you couldn't play with us. So I'm the same way. I'll go outside and be in the parking lot, and I'll do an hour of just footwork, just how I want to move freely on the stage with my cane or whatever. Then, excuse me, and then after that, I'll do another 3 to 4 hours in the gym over here where like everybody's at work during the daytime. So I could go to the gym here in our apartment and then nobody's in there the whole day because they're at work. So I use the gym as a way to go over my set over and over. I can be as loud as I want. No one is going to think I'm a serial killer, killing anyone. That I can scream, do all my act outs. It's amazing. And I needed those 6 and 8 hour sessions alone Monday through Friday to get to the level I'm on now.
Right. Nice.
So, okay, so you talked about, you do a lot of corporate events and, you know, library and, you know, the churches and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
do you, or will you ever like look into doing like Funny Bones and like, you know, Laugh Factory, improv, those kind of things?
Oh, absolutely. We already started doing that about, I'll say the first time I headlined 2 nights in a row was at the Funny Farm in Goshen, Indiana. And that was awesome because I had never headlined at a comedy club before. It was a dream, a job of mine to be able to do that as a comedian. So when that happened, I was like, man, I got to continue to do this. But the catch-22 with that is once you have your EPK, your electronic press kit that, you know, has your bio, a few funny clips, you have to now, you could get a booking agent or you could do it yourself and cut out the middleman. But if you do it yourself, you're going to have to sit there and do the grunt work of sending the emails out, contacting clubs all the time and say, hey, man, I'm a clean comic. If you have a slow week, can I, you know, have a spot? And you're basically fighting for that spot because every other top name is trying to get in there during the week and get that weekend money. Because, I mean, think about it, you do a Friday night show, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock. That's big money. Then you do a Saturday night, 7 and 9 o'clock, big money. And then a Sunday night, you close with 1 show at 7 p.m. So you're talking about 5 shows in a weekend. So these guys are making anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000 a weekend. And if you're doing that every weekend, that's how they end up with making 6 figures and millions.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
So that's what my goal is to continue getting my EPK out there at a high level. And then, of course, the highest level would be to sign with a major. There's a thing called exclusive artists, and then there's non-exclusive artists. So what I did was when America shut down in 2000, I did something that no other comedian thought to do because nobody was moving. Nobody was making money really when we were shut down. So I called every major entertainment company and I talked to the CEO. Believe it or not, they were picking up their phones. Why? Because everyone thought the world was coming to an end because of COVID. So I'm on the phone for 2 or 3 hours with multi-million-dollar CEOs building rapport, telling them about my career, telling them I'm a blind comic, sending them my stuff. Well, guess what happened in 2021? America reopened. Guess who has a tight relationship with these top guys that wouldn't have given me the time prior COVID? Leon the Jokester. So then because of that, I was able to get placements, high level placements in Indiana and many other different places. And then once you know those guys, they know the top guys that know the top guys. So it all trickles down. And I guess it's like what they say, there's levels to it. So yeah, you can stay local or you can like get in contact with the higher ups.
That's interesting information. Yeah, I swear every interview we do, I just learn more and more information. Like it's really cool.
Yeah. So I have to stay on my A game and keep everything real sharp because one thing you don't want to do is be positioned in one of those spots and then you drop the ball. Like all of it. You know how like people say, well, with comedy, don't you bomb? Not at that level. When you get to the level that I'm on now, I'm not saying you can't have a bad night, but it won't even be considered a bad night because a bad night would mean you kept bombing, no laughter, another joke, bombing. You have to understand with comedy, the reason why it takes so many years to perfect it is because you may do that same joke for the next 5 years, 10 years. So imagine me repeating the same 50 jokes for 10 years with hours of practice. that bad boy is going to be very polished when you go in front of, I think we were in front of 1,600 last month at the Coleman Theater, and we set the stage on fire.
That's very good, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
But listen, okay. I heard people say it takes them 10 years to get a paying gig. Boy, you did it so fast, man. How did you do that?
Well, the first 3 years was horrible, Rodney. And trust me, Melissa, you wouldn't have laughed at one joke the first 3 years. So I had to eat that just like anybody else. Kobe Bryant, first time in the NBA, airballed a lot of three-pointers, missed a lot of shots that could have won the game. So we all have to go through that process. After the first 3 years, the fourth year, I started learning like, oh, these three jokes are working. So you continue to build. So the next time you do a show, you will say, oh, I did these 10 jokes, these 7 worked, these 3 didn't. Let's cut those out. The point of comedy is to continue to shave off the jokes that are getting low laughter. And then you want to make sure they're A level, not C level. A level, like the stomachs and knots. B level, chuckles. C, and then anything under C is just bombing, no laughter. So after I learned the timing and the delivery and how to use joke structure to guarantee laughs, and then learning over 30 plus joke structure techniques, I treat it like boxing and martial arts. And so I was the white belt. And then now when I go into the black belt level, I'm like, okay, this is what you have to do in order to have a great show. And then you realize that after about 5-6 years into it, now you learn the negotiating game. See, they call it show business for a reason. Most comics only learn the show part. That's the talent. But the business part is when people can get over on you because they're like, oh, Rodney, Melissa, you guys are a dominant duo for the podcast. Well, we know the business, you know the show part. So we're just going to offer you $1,000 for your podcast. Whereas somebody else will get $1 million, like that one podcast, a million. Yeah. That one, Follow and Gilly. And so they were offered all of those millions because they learned the business side of it too, how to pitch your podcast, how to pitch your comedy, how to pitch everything. Everything in this entertainment business is about the pitching. If you pitch Pepsi and you pitch Mountain Dew, someone has to make a choice on which one they're going to go with and pay the big money. Otherwise, you will be drinking great value from Walmart for the rest of your career. We don't want great value. We don't want dollar store. We want Pepsi. We want Mountain Dew. So the same thing with the comedy. Once I learned the game, how to negotiate, how to have a higher end and a low end, meet me somewhere in the middle, how to tackle nonprofits, for-profits, charities, foundations. I took out 10 years of my career to learn the business side while perfecting the comedy side.
So when you first started, did you have like a business partner? Or you
No. I've been solo for 9 years. And then the 10th year, I picked up a business partner. And so now we have 3 companies. We have it where people can book me by myself, or you can book me with the business partner, or you guys can have you can hire us to actually put together an entire event. And so most people, when they want to have an event or a gala, they try to put it all together. But we learn the inside and outs to being able to get the money from the government for events. If you have a disability, the government will give you money to own your own business. And then when you call different companies, they may tell you, oh, we don't have a budget. But you can't just stop there, because they also have a thing called you have to have the budget to rent the building. You have to have the budget to feed the people, the catering. You have to have the budget for the keynote speaker. So how can you not have a budget, but we're having an event? So people have got accustomed to, oh, we don't have a budget. Well, how are you having the event? So once they learn that, oh, this isn't a guy we can push over, then that's when they realize, oh, okay, we're gonna have to give them the $6,000 for the comedy and everything.
Right. So since we're talking money anyways, so how long did it take you before you could actually make a living just doing comedy?
I'll say about 5 going on the 6th year.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely say there, because what I realized too, Melissa, was I couldn't just wait for people to call me, right? Because there's a stage where someone told me something at one of the talent agencies. I'll never forget it. He said, on this level, we call you, you don't call us. So when you first start comedy, you're calling everybody. Hey, give me a chance. Hey, man, do you have any shows coming up? Man, I was sure would be honored to open for you. That's when you first start. The other half, if you stick with it and get really good, you will notice the phone will keep ringing. Hey, man, we're having an event. Are you available? We have a budget for you. Hey, man, we need someone to open on this big America's Got Talent tour. Are you available? They call you because they found a spot for you. That's the reason why I tell a lot of my friends who think if they grab onto my coattail, they go in with me. These higher ups, they don't, when they call you, they're just calling you, not the Wu-Tang Clan. They can't fit all 9 of you in there, Rodney. Like, so most people will say, oh, well, you're arrogant now. You've changed. No, they won't let Jay-Z and Beyonce only let Pharrell Williams in. Then they let Kanye West in, but they're slamming the door after that. Oh, a girl named Rihanna? Okay, let her in, but close the door and lock it. That's why if you ever notice in entertainment, it's always the same faces. Country music has always been Garth Brooks. Rap has always been Snoop Dogg. These faces are the main faces because the major labels, they don't need a million Snoop Doggs. We only need one. We only need one Beyonce. We don't need, every 5 years we may bring in a Post Malone, or we may bring in a secular artist that we're like, oh, okay, let's make some money off of them. But they're going to milk it for many, many years till they're considered old news. And so once I start studying the game that way, it's a totally different mindset. So now when I sit down to negotiate comedy deals, I'm like, okay, this is the direction we need to go. And instead of me wasting money on a big mansion or a big house or whatever, I'm like, oh, I'll stay in an apartment and just keep saving my money so then I could go buy the theater that I want, and then I can rent that out and do the same thing that they're doing at the bigger labels. All they do is take money, rent the venue, and then now you sell tickets for $20 to $40, and then voila, you just made all of that money for the weekend. Yeah. You 7 p.m. clean comedy show for the family every weekend. $20 a pop, 300 people in the room, $6,000 weekend. That's $12,000 every 2 weeks. And then you take that $12,000 and you reinvest it, or you just take $24,000 for the month and just keep saving it until you're ready to rent something even bigger. But that's the exact same paradigm and infrastructure that they've been doing for decades.
So, okay, let's talk more money. So, if you don't mind, what was your biggest check?
$8K.
Wow. For 2 hours?
One.
1 hour. 8,000 for 1 hour.
This is amazing, man. When you are doing your 9 to 5, there's no way you're making $8K.
Yeah, they're not paying you for your time on stage. They're paying you for the years of experience in comedy. So even if you're only doing 10 to 15 minutes, you want to break it down in like increments of 15 minutes. So you may want to say 15 minutes, $2,000, $4,000 for 30 minutes, $6,000 for 45, $8,000 for an hour. That's how they budget, because you know why? When they have the event, they already have a $10,000 budget. They have a $20,000 budget. I know a company right now, I did a show for at the Cox Communication Center last year, and they actually paid another blind person that was a blind chef $20,000 for 1 hour. $20,000 for 1 hour, and that's just low end. Because the high end, I know pastors that do $50,000 for 1 hour of speaking. And the TED Talk stuff, that's the reason why. Because when people start getting accepted into TED Talks, they use the TED Talk, the 15-minute TED Talk, as their demo to try to negotiate bigger deals with the bigger agencies. But remember, because of social media, we don't need the agency anymore. You needed the agency for exposure. Because if I go to whatever big arena, that downtown, wherever you're at, even in Baltimore or Maryland, like wherever you have to go for the football game, basketball game, That's why you sign, because they will put you in those places. But check this out. You may not always get the amount of money you want in those places either, because guess who has to get their first cut? The agency. Who gets the second cut? Uncle Sam. Who gets the third cut? Your management company. Who gets the fourth? Your booking agent. You have so many hands in it. It's like, wow, where do I get paid? But most people are afraid to invest their own money in renting the venue, paying to feed the guests, being the keynote speaker yourself. You cut out the middleman. You do it all yourself. All the money goes to you at the end of the night.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, you have a great business mind.
Thank
you. In addition to just being hilarious, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted both sides. I mean, I saw too many interviews where Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and all the greats from the past said, man, our first 2-3 years in Hollywood, they got over on us and they had us sign these contracts and our lawyers did this and that. And I'm like, yeah, it happens, because when they present it to you, the labels, they think you're going to be so excited, so zealous that it's like, oh, they'll sign to anything. And then now you're stuck for the next 2 or 3 years, just like the movie not NWA, Straight Outta Compton. In Straight Outta Compton, Jerry took advantage of Eazy-E, and at the end of the movie, he's like, hey, Jerry, sit down. What's going on? Oh, man, I had to get my cut, and because that's what they did. But if you go to the beginning of the movie, and then Jerry's like, man, I can get that Boys in the Hood song in the right places, get you some radio spins. They they dangle the fruit that you like, but then it's time to rest. You'll say, oh, you made 50 million. Think about it like this. LeBron James, the Russ family, is Bus or Russ family that owns the Lakers. Well, recently they had sold a big percentage. They will be worth $5 billion because they own the Lakers, but LeBron would be given only 50 million. Now, to us, 50 million is a crazy astronomical amount of money, but now LeBron's worth $5 billion.
Yeah.
So 50 million, even Netflix did that with Dave Chappelle. They gave him 50 million for 5 comedy specials. So 50 million seems like, wow, man, that's a lot, but it's not a lot if I'm sitting on 10 billion. As Netflix, as the owner of Netflix, getting all of the subscriptions all around the world. And so that's how you have to know your worth and your value. You don't let people pick the price for you. You come into the meeting saying, hey, I'm 8,000 and take it or leave it. And you have to be comfortable with saying no.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is your wife part of your team?
Absolutely. She spends all the money.
Love it.
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise I wouldn't have transportation to a lot of the shows. And shouts out to my mother-in-law who's taking me everywhere. San Antonio, Texas to do comedy shows. Westfield, Indiana, Goshen, Indiana. I mean, you name it. She's got me in the car. And she has a nice Nissan, and she'll take me all around America if she has to, so I could take good care of her too. And then my wife steps in and takes me to a lot of the shows as well. In fact, I don't even have to worry about asking where my check is after the show. She's already holding it. And so I'm like, babe, I never introduced you to the executive director. She's like, don't worry, I found him. So I haven't even got off stage yet, right there. She's already got the check.
God. So okay, speaking of like traveling around, do you take your family with you when you go on tour?
Well, I have no choice. They're the Uber driver.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. There's no Coldplay actually.
Okay. Speaking of that, what's your thought on that, bro?
Well, right. This is my thing. Whatever's done in the dark is gonna come to the light. So I just feel like we're in a season with these if we didn't have social media, no one would know anything about anything.
Yeah.
But because of social media, all you got to do is move that camera to the left and someone's life is over. Move that camera to the right. Now crisscross. Yeah, hands on your knees. And yeah, it's off the chain now, man. You don't know which direction that phone's gonna go, but you better be doing right when it's on you. And so that's all I have to say about that, man. He needs to go home and make things right with his family, man, because, man, life is too short to be messing around.
That's not issue with it, right? You cheat on your wife. But when did it was cool to put your side piece in public, though? You don't do that.
Right.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like me, like I said, I take my wife everywhere. I do have a side chick. Her name is Sally Mae. I've been giving her money every month for years. Melissa, stop playing. So I'm trying to be I'm trying to be transparent. She's taking me for everything I got, plus on top of what I got to give my wife. So, but yeah, man, I just think we're living in a time where you're going to see a lot of pastors getting into a lot of trouble. You're going to see a lot of CEOs getting into trouble. And so a lot of people we looked up to as leaders, man, it's really sad. I mean, I saw something the other day online, no pun intended, but I saw this and it said like a boss tells you what to do, but a leader shows you what to do. So a lot of our leaders are falling down to the ground, and this young generation is pointing the fingers at them and laughing. And I don't know about you, but I don't think a 16-year-old should be laughing at the senior citizens of today. So that means our elders have to step our game up and stay on the straight and narrow.
Yes.
So how long have you and your wife been together?
20 years strong.
Okay.
We met in college, you guys.
Yeah.
And so it was funny because the first time we met, she was helping out in financial aid. Had I known she was going to be in charge of all my financial aid money in the future, I was like, wow, what's the odds of that? I said, hey, ma'am, can you direct me to financial aid? She said, yeah, right down that way. And then like maybe a month later, I saw her again. And I used to skateboard back in the day before I got the belly and the gray hairs and stuff. But I used to Tony Hawk my way to class, and she liked that. I was like that black guy that was a little different with the fatigue shorts and the skateboard and everything. So yeah, we hit it off, and we dated for 3 years and got married and been together for 20. And then our 14-year-old son, Jared, he's doing his thing, cross country, track, band. Yeah, we keep him busy. So
Wow.
hopefully if I retire from comedy one day, he can get an NIL, and then I don't have to pay for any college because hey, dad wants this, that, and the other. I want a Ferrari. Like that garage. I'm gonna stare at it. So yeah, it's gonna be a cool ordeal, man. I can't wait.
That's cool. Does he ever get to go out with you then touring too? I mean,
oh yeah. Like one thing about my schedule is I try to do the weekend, so then it's like a family-oriented ordeal, because one thing I take very serious, and I said this before, weekdays is all practice. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes corporate may say Thursday night event, Friday night event, but for the most part, most of your shows are going to be week. Like even at the comedy club, it's not common to be like, oh, I'm at the comedy club Monday night, Tuesday night. Most of the time, people are waiting to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You work the whole week, and now you're able to have fun at the comedy club or at the corporate event, because the corporate companies are working during the weekday. And so they want to relax during the weekend to enjoy the event. So it's very common to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And with that being said, my wife's off, my son's off. Like even with the tour, the America's Got Talent tour, we get back on the road August 23rd. And guess who's going? My wife's driving, my son's filming.
Yes. So you are very funny dad. Does your son think you're a cool dad, or he still like the regular dad?
You sound like a cool dad?
Yeah.
Are you, does he think you're a cool dad, or does he think that you're just a regular guy?
Oh man, like I think I'm still the cool dad, because he picked up on my sense of humor big time. So the only thing that I miss the most is being able to pick him up from school, and of course like taking my wife out on blind dates and everything. But other than that, like with my son, it's like, oh yeah, that's my dad. He's being funny again. And yeah, he really liked it. At one time he was wanting to pursue comedy. You know how your child is. They like, oh, I want to be just like that. But then my wife talked some sense into him and said, no, you're going to be a doctor or engineer. And so, yeah, the comedy thing, like I said, if I wasn't afflicted, I'd probably still be a case manager the comedy would have never ever crossed my mind to be a career.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So earlier you spoke about American Got Talent. How did you end up having a deal with them?
Yeah, so basically, Rodney, the demo is the most important thing in stand-up comedy. The like EPK is the most important thing. So I tell comics all the time, believe it or not, some comics don't even have the EPK, the electronic press kit. You can Google that. You get an EPK, then you have to go do a comedy show somewhere and make sure that it's filmed in 4K. It needs to be high level, none of that cheap stuff. So then once you have the EPK, which is your bio and your photo, and then you want to have like at least a good 2-minute sizzle reel, and the sizzle reel in comedy counts as your resume in the corporate world. So basically, once you have that sizzle reel, this is like a Michael Jordan highlight tape. So if you want to see Michael Jordan jump from the free throw line, he will use that to try to get bookings other places. Say, hey, I can jump from the free throw line. And so I'm no different. Kevin Hart has one. Nate Bargatze has one. I have one. Basically, what you do is once you have it, there's thousands on top of thousands of talent agencies. So you present it to them, then they sit back like they're scouts. And so just like sports, they come out to see you perform. Well, remember I told you guys earlier when America shut down, I hit up lots of them. And I said, hey, man, here's my demo. Okay, America shut down. What can we do with your demo? Oh, man, just keep it in your email. You never know. Well, I knew America was going to reopen one day. I was like, there's no way I'm dying in a house full of diseases and stuff. We're going to reopen one day. I had faith we were going to reopen. So then you present it to them. They review it. Then they send it to what we call the placements. So there could be a comedy club that says, man, somebody got sick. Rodney, are you free next week to fly out to Seattle? Yeah, I'm free. Melissa, are you free? Someone called out in Naples, Florida. Can you? Yeah, I can make it. When you go, make sure you take someone with you to film. The footage is everything. If you don't have footage, how do they know how good you are, whatever? So thank God for YouTube. If you look at YouTube, everybody's posting everything. So you take that comedy special, you give it to them. You can submit it. Anybody can submit it. Like you go to a website, find their email, you submit it. Once they review it, they now send it to the next level people. What's the next level people? America's Got Talent, American Idol, The Voice, those people. Then what's higher than them? Netflix, Amazon. These are all bigger levels. That's the reason why some of the comics can get 40,000 a show, 100,000 a show. Nate Bargatze's up to 750,000 for 1 hour. Kevin Hart is 1.5 million for 1 hour. And Kevin Hart doing 80 cities, not including the international. So you do the math on the 1.5 million times 80 shows. So that's how you climb the ladder. And then on that level, that's when you do shows at Walt Disney, Six Flags, the state fair that comes to everybody's city. You want to get to your demo to the point where they're calling you to be the opening act for those. That's why you don't see that you see the same faces, because it's so hard to get there. And so for me, my big break was the show I did in Indianapolis last year. It was February 17th, 2024. My mother-in-law drove me there in a blizzard. And we didn't know the blizzard was coming, but we got caught in it. We crashed like twice against the rails. We almost died. We got there. It was crazy. We got on stage. I did my thing, set the stage on fire. I put the show that I did on YouTube. Every now and then I go back and watch it, but I don't like to meditate on the past, because then you would get stuck in doing only those jokes. So then I meditated on the future jokes. Somebody said, oh, the guy that hooked me up at that talent agency knew the higher ups at America's Got Talent, blah, blah. So then they said, hey, you know anybody that would be a great fit for the AGT ordeal? He said, oh, yeah, I think Leon, blah, blah, blah. Sent my demo to them. They approved it. 3 people had to approve my stuff, send it back to him. He calls me. I call him. He calls me, and he says, hey, Leon, are you free this weekend? You're the new opening act for the fall tour. And then voila, that's how it happens. So then now what happens is I have to keep killing it for the next 5 shows. Then I can present that to the higher ups, higher than what I'm already at, for them to review. And that's when you get into the $100,000 and up crew. So it's like, it's level. So you'll be at the 6,000, 8,000, 20,000, 100,000. It just keeps going up and up because you keep climbing the ladder.
Wow. So how is it being on tour with them?
Oh no, it's cool. But one thing I noticed is that you pretty much do your thing. You could be a fan, but it's like, I noticed when I arrive, I just go straight to my dressing room. Mine is normally like, on the last one, hers is like lower level. I had to go up the steps on mine. The blind man goes up the steps, but it's like, but like, you gotta pay your dues. And so I'm in there the whole time, getting in the zone, and then once I hit the stage and I come back out, and then she'll give me a shout out, give it up for Leon, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm back in the zone, putting everything on Facebook. Man, we made it, mama, we did it, blah, blah. And then after that, then it's like, I'll tell you guys, it was so funny. My mother-in-law was helping me outside of the we had to leave out the back of the theater, but just so happens 1,600 people that were at the show, they were parked in that area. As soon as we opened that side door, security was like, okay, you guys can go out that way. Your car's right there. And that's when everyone looked up and they said, hey, that was the blind guy. That was the opening act. And I felt like Michael Jackson for the first time in my life. And so they were like, oh my God, I promise you, I never heard so many jobs back to back. It was like an AI robot. Like, good job, man. Hey, that's the blind man. Hey, good job. And I was like overwhelmed. I said, if this is what the Jackson 5 went through, this is always. So then my mother-in-law hurries up and gets me in the car, and we're good. But yeah, man, like, and it's gonna keep getting bigger because the next few shows will be on a college campus, and then after that we go to the comedy clubs. And then of course, if you have a demo like I will have at the comedy club, not just doing open mic, not just doing 5 minutes, but doing a full 20 to 30-minute set, that's all you need to be able to travel every weekend all around America to do more shows. And that's when you get into the whole, like I said, 8,000 and up a weekend.
You're from LA. What do you think about Kobe not being part of the top 10 NBA players?
Yeah. I was seeing something like that, man. No pun intended. I saw where the Melissa don't choco in it too. I see y'all my good eye. It's yeah, man. That you want to know something, Rodney? We're living in a time, bro, when everybody's opinion is gonna be everybody's opinion. But I know, and you guys definitely know, that how we feel from the era, because we grew up around the Kobe era. We saw him when he was in high school, jumped to the league. We saw Michael Jordan, bam. So for us, we show more gratitude and we show more homage to them. We pay more homage to them because we saw the grind the whole time. This generation, it's really strange now, man. Ever since the NBA was trying to, like, when the COVID stuff was going on and nobody was going to the NBA games, it was just real weird. People had to wear the mask. The NBA hasn't been the same since. So nowadays you have people saying Wilt Chamberlain should be number 1 or Bill Russell should be here, but none of that stuff really matters. What really matters is when we were growing up, man, you knew who was the top people. I said Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Anthony Hardaway, Tracy McGrady. You knew who were the top guys and you knew what team. Now I don't even know who's on the team. I just found out the OKC Thunder won and I live here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
I heard I was at physical therapy the other day, right? You guys, 'cause I was working on my shoulder and everything. And there was a lady, I promise you, she was like 85 years old. And you know what she said? A guy said, ma'am, did you see the Thunder play? They won the championship. And she thought that was the baseball team. She said, they hit a home run. And she was like, no, it was basketball. And so, yeah, man, it's just, I think we're all in our own world these days.
Yeah. So if you were to build a basketball team out of any players ever, who would be your 5? Who would be your starting 5?
Oh, yeah, definitely Michael Jordan, first and foremost. The closet. I don't care how old I get, I'm still going to keep some fresh J's. I got the 11s. Remember the patent leathers, Rodney? I got the patent leathers. And so we don't say Michael Jordan first, then Kobe Bryant second, I definitely got to put my boy Allen Iverson in there. Now I know that's strange because I'm picking all cards, but I feel like Iverson has to be in there. Shaq's gonna play center, and I'm gonna go ahead and give Grant. I want to say Kevin Garnett because KG. But man, because I'm in Oklahoma and we did have KD at one time, I'm gonna go with KD. So let's do Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Shaquille O'Neal, KD.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Yeah.
What about you, Rodney? I want to hear you guys, and then Melissa, you guys give me yours, and you better not do women NBA.
Okay. I'll go first. Okay. So, because I'm a weirdo, but I grew up in Illinois. So, of course, Jordan is my number one. But I also want Pippen and Rodman because I can't see a team without them. I mean, and Patrick Ewing would be my yeah. And then I want Spud Webb bringing the ball down.
Wow. She didn't even say Muggsy Bogues. She said Spud.
I said Spud. I know I'm a weirdo, but I was just in love with watching him play when I was growing up. He made me a Hawks fan when nobody knew who the Hawks were.
Yeah,
so yeah.
No, okay. For me, I'm going with MJ, Kobe, LeBron, Tim Duncan, and Shaq.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, Tim Duncan. You know what I liked about Tim was that it was all fundamentals. There was nothing fancy. It was like get back on defense, get the ball in your hands, and then just put it in, and then just run back down on defense. It was nothing fancy. But we're going off of style. MJ, Kobe, and Allen Iverson did it for me. But, fancy. And then, of course, nobody has ever been able to fly like Michael Jordan. I mean,
you my love, my life. You need